Let me ask you this: is Spanish Harlem ever going to return back to battle rapping? You know, I got a chance to see some of your work. You know, just some battles that I was like, okay, Spanish Harlem really is a wild dude. Like, he really talk crazy. He really, you know what I'm saying? You didn't have the epic back and forth with Twork before. I never really seen that until like later on afterwards and things like that. So is there ever a chance where you'll get back to battle rapping or ever get hitting the stage ever again?
I mean, this right here, I'm battling smack right now. I'm battling smack right now.
This is your form of battling right now?
I've been this is battling at its highest form right here. This is, there's no crowd participation. You know what I'm saying? They might comment on the bottom, and I get a chance to hold someone accountable who, look, like I said, I don't hate Smack. I'm not jealous of Smack. I think Smack is blessed and he's opposing himself. Thank you for bringing that up. The Twork situation, while I was not saying nothing and I was in the matrix, you know what I'm saying? There was a situation you brought to my attention and a couple other people brought to my attention that Dolo Dev.
What happened with that battle with Free? The paid you to sit, you are for sale. Wasn't Remy wearing free cash shirts while you was in jail? Had the nerve to disrespect her too. This was an
that Dolo Dev had used a one-rounder that I had did back in 2019 where it was talk about me and Twork had a situation. This goes along with the whole idea of what we're talking about.
Okay, why?
Because it's about showing who you are. Showing who you are. Now, I'm not sure how familiar you are with the context. Correct me if I'm wrong. There was a point where Easy and Twork were going at it. I got that right? They were going at it, and then
it all depends on what time, because they battled, then they argued to get online afterwards multiple times. So it all depends on what.
I think it was. I could be wrong. It was something around the time where Easy was leaving URL.
Okay.
And then there was a rekindling of them going at each other, and I think Twork had said something about nobody has put hands on me in battle rap or something like that.
I do remember that. I remember that. I do.
So I'm just sitting at home, okay, and then Dolo Dev pops up and then starts attacking Twork, and he uses my footage as a point to go at him.
Yeah.
Right? And people like Spanish Harlem and Twork fought and stuff like that, and it's one of those catch-22 situations because it's like Dev shouldn't have did that. Now I know of Dev. I wouldn't say I have a personal relationship with him.
Okay.
I do know him, and because he's from the area, I'm familiar with the story that he was telling.
Okay.
But I don't think that was honorable to throw me in there and then try to say, oh, the reason why Spanish was bringing up Silencer Protocol was because him and Twork got into it and got into a fight, and now Twork got him blackballed. That is completely false.
Okay.
Well, let me say it like this. Let me say it like this because this is very important. Twork never got me blackballed. Did we fight? Yes. Why was it not talked about? That's a whole different conversation.
Okay.
But here's what I would say, because it wasn't recorded. We got into it off of miscommunication.
Okay.
And from that time, if he was to talk about it, I don't know what he would say. I won't even say I'll know what he would say. Okay? But from that point, which was 2017 when we fought, up until not too long ago, I would say probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I showed him who I was.
Okay.
I showed him who I was when he was going through his situations where he wasn't coming up with his material.
Okay.
Right? I didn't jump in the bandwagon. I had that footage, but I never posted it.
was this before y'all was supposed to battle or in between? Like, cause I saw a promo video you did, which like I just saw it recently, where you kind of was like making fun of, you know, amoxicillin, and you was doing a whole bunch of like.
So that's the crazy part. So,
Yeah.
so we fought at the beginning of 2017, and that battle was 2 years later.
Okay.
See, that's the crazy part. Like,
Oh, so y'all battled after y'all actually had a physical altercation?
we didn't battle. We ended up not battling.
Oh, you just ended up rapping your lines.
I rapped my round because it didn't happen. Yeah,
Who were you rapping it to?
everybody that came for the battle.
Oh, so you just threw the bars out. Oh, wow. Because I'm looking at it, it's looking like a battle in my head. But it's like, okay, yeah, Twerk's not even in the room.
Jazz was hosting. She was supposed to be the host. It was his league's card, right? So I shouldn't have rapped around. That's the real thing. I shouldn't have rapped around.
Yeah.
Because it's battle rap. I wanted to
Battle him.
I wanted to battle him.
Yeah.
And say the message to him directly. But, you know, I was proud.
Using your feelings.
I was in my feelings, right? This is not an apology. I don't apologize for dropping around. I look at it and say, okay, I could have did that better, right? But even still, from the point when we actually fought to the point where that battle was supposed to happen, there was so much, you know, where if I would have listened to the things that he said that's documented and responded accordingly, like, it would have told a lie about what I believe.
Which is?
Why we're here.
What do you mean?
Why we're here. What I believe I'm here to do.
Oh, your purpose?
Purpose. Things like that.
Okay.
Not to mention, me and him have more in common than that's talked about. Me and him have a lot in common. But, you know, getting caught up in things that don't matter, you can ruin a whole lot. Like, you know, there was a point in time where I believe that me and Twerk were like the top battle to happen
From the DMV.
From the DMV area. It was like, he goes this way, goes crazy, I go over here. So, you know, a feud happening between us. I see how it could have went there. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm being totally transparent, he said some egregious things on camera that if it was any other person, you know what I'm saying, it would have went completely left.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? But I forgave. And I showed.
In your battle, you said some pretty egregious things too.
I
watched
did.
the clip. I was like, geez.
I did. It's not something.
You went there like, geez, what's wrong with this guy?
But it's once
No,
again.
I know it's battle rap, of course. Well, this is what
I
we
ain't say
expect.
look. When I tell you, I'm like, and they would talk about having that battle. I'm like, y'all sure y'all want to have that? Come on, man. Come on.
If you're cool to talk about it, what was the situation? What started your whole thing? Like what?
I'm not gonna talk about.
Okay, no problem.
I'm not gonna talk about that.
Okay.
All I will say is, at the time, it wasn't anything like I said, it was miscommunication. It wasn't like I violated or anything like that. We had a call, you know what I'm saying? We had a conversation. Things got misconstrued after the conversation, and that ended up resulting in the confrontation, and us ended up fighting. But then after that, when I look at the end of the day, I believe that he'll look at our encounters and say, Spanish was actually trying to help.
Are you guys? Have y'all seen each other since this situation? Spoke or anything like that ever?
Okay. We've been. Last time we were in a room together,
It was cordial.
It was civil.
It was civil.
It was civil. And that's one of those things, like, once again, Twerk is a blessed man. And it's when nobody wants to charge the person to remind them, you're blessed. Sometimes that conversation don't sound like to the person, it don't sound like you're trying to help me remember that.
Yeah.
It sound like, oh, you checking me.
Yeah.
Or you trying to act like you you know, big bad, trying to put me in my place. It's like, nah, I understand why you think it sounds like that, but one day you'll look back and say, everybody else is trying to be a yes man. Because I was trying to go this way, Spanish was right there, boom, and now conflict, things of that nature. That's what I'm saying. We've made peace with it. We're civil. We don't have to be cordial.
Okay.
But I look at that situation and say, okay, so I'm sitting at home like, yo, do I even talk about this situation? Because if I get into the detail, it makes me look crazy. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
If I go into what happened, and boom, 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 what I did, what he did, it looks crazy. But then if I don't acknowledge it at all, I'm lying. If I say, oh, the fight didn't happen.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Once again, I'm grateful because now I get to respond accordingly as it should be done.
And not through emotion or being like, you know.
Yeah.
So how does this tie into everything that you've been talking about? Because you said this kind of ties into everything in a sense.
Yeah.
How does this, your specific situation with Twerk and what you guys got into, how does it tie into this whole silence of protocol, the whole way the culture is built and things like that? How does that situation affect how you look or see things within this whole culture?
Yeah. It ties in because if my mentality was to make money off of it, what do you think my story would have been about?
Okay, so you would have basically clout chased the whole situation in a sense?
If I wanted to sell a story,
yeah,
with the situation with me and Twerk,
you feel like you could have blew up just talking about it and going crazy.
I had the footage. He was in all the situations that popped up for him, and I saw it. I looked at it and said, I could, if I was about that type of mentality,
okay,
I could just drop this right here and then try to ride that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's one of the hottest stars, the biggest artist, battler in the world, this, that, and the third.
Nobody, and you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, oh, he got in a fight with such and such. Everybody, come on, this is battle rap. People get punched in the face, something like that. That's a conversation that happens, and you know, people getting interviews and stuff like that. Now, like I said, if my mentality was about, oh, I'm trying to just make some money, and I ain't had no principles or no values, then you wouldn't hear me say Smack is a blessed man. Are they going to combat that? Imagine that. It's almost like the Cat Williams conversation.
Yeah.
Cat Williams goes and says, essentially, his message is, don't compare me to him, and him, because they're willing to do things I would never do. You know what the people said? Oh, he's just mad he don't got no money. It's almost like they didn't even hear what he was talking about.
Yeah, he just hating.
Say, yo, you. So I know that's gonna happen. But they can't take, it's on camera.
Yeah.
Twerk is blessed. Smack is blessed. If they oppose themselves, there will be some, and maybe it won't be me. There will be someone else to say, yo, what are you doing? It had to be me because no one else.
Gotcha.
But like I said, I'm the first ambassador, but I'm not the last.
To close out, you know
what I mean?
I feel like, we will be back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like this is like our third or fourth series.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I do appreciate, your conversations. Like you said, I always tell everybody, Spanish Harlem was the interview I never thought I needed, or you know what I'm saying? That was the interview where it's like, yo, I wasn't even I had no expectations, and it ended up being something that was powerful to the culture. I felt like you opened up a door where everybody was basically willing to speak on things that nobody was really willing to speak on before. So I want you to just kind of like end it with, like, I guess in a sense, what's next? Not just for you, but what's next that you see going on for 2024 and beyond?
This is a great season we're in. Things are shaky right now because the whole platform of what we know to be battle rap is settling in, so they can be the next chapter, and everybody has been given a gift, especially the battlers who are on contract in URL. They have been given a gift, a word of knowledge, They are free. They don't have to, once their contract is done, they'll be able to do what they need to do. They can see who's really for them and who really cares, who has the intent to get them to the next level. They don't have to feel like they're trapped. They don't have to feel like, yo, if I don't get this battle over here, maybe Spanish is right. Maybe I'm not supposed to have my big payday through battle rap. Maybe I'm supposed to step out now so I can get that real thing. And whatever that is, whatever that's a family, whatever that's marriage or a new kid, or, you know what I'm saying, you get you a new house or something like that. Maybe that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you transition to acting or comedy, or you go into your YouTube side. All of that is on the rise. For everybody who looks at the situation and says, you know what? It's not just business. It's not just business. And you will see. You will see. I'm working on something else. I'm gonna give the second solution to those who need to have it. And in the fullness of time, people will be able to see what it is.
Spanish, appreciate you. And can I just get a shout out for Hip Hop is Real, man?
Shout out to Hip Hop is Real. You can catch me on Twitter at Spanish Harlem _.